Weekly pop-up is here. Yay, we love weekly pop-ups when we don't know how to pop up. In this episode, we cover the superiority of popping up in the water over dry land. Welcome to the Wipeout Weekly, the daily podcast for beginners, wannabe surfers, and seasoned wipeout enthusiasts. No hype, no filler, just the highs, lows, and honest truth about learning to surf and finding your place in surf culture. I'm your host, Suze Wilson. Let's go out. This is an emotional topic for me, and I want this on record. If I hear one more time that in order to get better at popping up on your surfboard, you need to practice popping up on land every day, I am going to explode. This is lunacy. I feel for any beginner who decided to ask ChatGPT or Claude if it's easier to learn popping up on the floor rather than in the ocean. Because what they will hear is that, of course, it's easier to learn when the floor isn't moving. There's no time pressure, and no one can see you fail. Don't get me wrong. I'm still all in on burpees for days and doing push-ups for building upper body strength. It's a necessary evil. And I'm not a Luddite, and I do understand the argument for practicing land pop-ups to improve your feet placement once you've acquired bad habits in the water. But so often you hear beginner surfers say, I've been practicing on land, I get into the water, and I do something completely different. So hear me say this, really hear me. Popping up on a surfboard is easier in the water than popping up on dry land. Because physics. We have already established that if you want to get better at surfing, you will eventually need to graduate to the explosive pop-up method. That requires being able to swing your legs forward rather than stepping up. I challenge anyone without the highest level of fitness to perform this task on the ground. This is why popping up in the water matters. In the ocean, the board will sink. It will create enough space between your body and the board, and gravity will help your legs slide into place. Granted, when learning, it's easier to achieve this in small, unbroken rolling waves, which may not be accessible to everybody. The downward angle of the board plus an unbroken wave make the entire transition so much smoother. I know that for a fact, because it happened to me. Once, or maybe twice, and I've been chasing that feeling ever since. Lest we forget, building muscle memory on land or in the water, these are two different kettles of fishes. You need to get a feel for that pop-up motion when your board is in motion. It needs to be fluid, more like a jelly swing rather than a jump, thud, wallop. Listen, I don't want to get into trouble with every surfing app that encourages people to practice on land and this is how they make money. So yes, practicing on land won't hurt. It will build your fitness. Have fun doing a plank and sliding your feet forward and back on the skateboard. Whee! But don't get lulled into a false sense of security that if you master your pop-up on land, you will be able to perform it in the ocean. Let me leave you with some wise words that I read on Reddit, because nothing can be truer. Everything that is not surfing is different from surfing. There is no true way to practice surfing outside of surfing. You can only do things that help. And that's all for today. Check out the Wipeout Weekly for our free newsletter, more stories, and ways to connect with us. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow for more of the Wipeout Weekly.